So guys, today back from another video on the channel. Today we're here for the Newcastle United vs Chelsea preview. A big game at St James's Park. I can't wait to be back at St James's Park on Saturday for the game. It's going to be a sick one. Obviously we've got the preview today, predicted team out tomorrow, then obviously the vlog out on Saturday night. So if you want to see all that content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on. It would mean the world if you could do so. Anyways boys, let's get in the video now. Let's just get the chit chat out of the way and let's straight into the preview. We'll look at Chelsea, look at Newcastle, going into the game on Saturday. So then we will start off with our opposition, Chelsea. Chelsea have had a fantastic 2021, you can say. Champions League winners, a new team, and everything about the club is just going in the right direction. Signings, players, management, owner, everything is what you want at Chelsea Football Club at the minute. When you look at their team on paper, they do have a couple of spots where you can think they could do someone better there or whatnot, but one thing for me that Chelsea have got is a massive core and a great team spirit, and that's what can get you through. That's why they probably won the Champions League in my opinion. When like they lost 2 games this season against City and Juventus and people question them, and it's like you're versing two of the best teams in the world arguably, and you're losing, which is fair enough, it happens in football, but they've rebuilt after they've had some bad years over the years, you could say. Finally got to where they want, and it's incredible, it really is. I think people forget that in the 1920 season, Chelsea didn't sign one player and still got top 4, and obviously that was all through Frank Lampard. Obviously Frank Lampard did get sacked in the end, and then Thomas Tuchel came in and stormed the show. When last time we played Chelsea, they were just so dominant, and that's what they're doing to every team at the minute. They just look so dominant, and no team can get next to them. They've got every single thing that they've got at the minute is just pure class. Let's speak about pure class. Let's look at their last 4 games. A 1-0 win over Brentford, which was a really good game to watch by an insane performance by Edouard Mendy. 4-0 win in the Champions League against Malmo. An absolute smashing performance in a 7-0 win over Norwich. Then last night beat Southampton on penalties. 4-3 on pens, but 1-1 was the final score. One thing that is interesting though, obviously Chelsea Champions League, they are the winners and whatnot. They want to try and do the best they can in the Champions League, and they've got a game on Tuesday, which I didn't realise until doing this preview now. So what they're going to do, are they going to rest some players for Newcastle, or they're going to go full strength? The fact is with Chelsea, they can do anything. They've got such a big team. Like, when you think of the attack, I know Lukaku and Werner are injured at the minute, but like, even if they're just attacking players in general, they've got so many quality players. We'll start off with Mason Mount, Ziyech, Havertz, Hudson-Odoi. The list goes on. I've probably forgot a couple of players. The list can just go on and on and on, and that's one thing that they can just bring players in who are quality. Like, you see teams around the top 6, like say if Spurs get a couple of injuries or Arsenal get a couple of injuries, they are fucked. They are. Same with Leicester, couple of injuries, they're down there in the dumps. With Chelsea, they get a couple of injuries up front and they win 7-0 in the next game. Little things like that can just be the difference in doing something in the league, and not by spending that little bit extra money. It might make a player unhappy. One player who I feel for is Ziyech. I think he's a quality player, massively underrated, but he sits on the bench most games in the Prem and he wants to be playing, but when he does play, he puts his all in and does the job, and that's what you need when you've got players like that sitting on the bench for them to come on and just for you to know that they are going to be quality, and they're just going to come on and just play with flair, play with freedom, and just score goals and win football matches. Chelsea look very dominant at Stamford Bridge, so luckily this game is at St James's Park with obviously 52k fans, sold out stadium there. They do look dominant in pretty much every game they do play in. They have looked vulnerable at times, defensively especially, which is a bit of unfortunate for them, because I feel like when they've got their full defence fit, when they've got Thiago Silva fit, Rudiger fit, and they've got all the boys fit, no one can get past them. It's not just that they are just quality players. The structure and the tactics of the team is what really brings Chelsea together, and that's all down to Thomas Tuchel. Obviously he's managed the best of the best, you could say. Neymar, Mbappe, was he at Dortmund? I think he's in Germany. I think he was at Mainz as well. Managed some really good players, and he's done it at the best of the best. And obviously now Lukaku, Kante, the list goes on, but he's doing an extremely good job at Chelsea, and massively underrated, you could say, for the job that he has done. I don't think people realise how good Thomas Tuchel has done at Chelsea. People don't realise it. People they won the Champions League, but for him to come in mid-season and win them the Champions League, it's massive, and you can only give him credit in my opinion. I do like Chelsea as a football club because I don't know if people might not know this, right, but when I was younger watching football, my sort of idol, I was just a bit too young for the Alan Shearer era of the Premier League, because I was born in 2002 and I started watching football in around 2009. The player that I fell in love with was Didier Drogba. I absolutely fucking love the way he plays football. It's absolutely amazing. Obviously he's not the the most African goal scorer in the Premier League now after Mo Salah, but I fell in love with Didier Drogba at Chelsea, and it was not big. I didn't like Chelsea in any sort of way. Newcastle was always my club as a Ben, but Didier Drogba just made us like Chelsea as a football club, and I've got out against them and shit like that. So they're doing well for themselves and they're having a really, really good season. Right then, obviously Newcastle, we haven't won a game this season, but obviously it's all highs. Like, I don't really any fans really care that we haven't won a game this season. We are the richest club in the world, and we are just still. It still hasn't processed my mind. It's sinking in a little bit, but it hasn't processed the mind. It hasn't stuck there and stayed, and it's amazing. It really is. So we just need to try and get to January in the best sort of position. Obviously we are going into our next game after this will be in November, and we probably still wouldn't have won a game of football, but could be wrong. We could beat Chelsea, we don't know. It will be a tough game. I'm expecting we'll play very similar as we did against Palace. But yeah, again, fair play to Graham Jones, who came in for them today for the Palace game and this Chelsea game, and then obviously I'm guessing for the game after that, which is Brighton away, where we will probably be getting a new manager in. So you've got to give credit to Graham Jones. I think we didn't play too bad against Crystal Palace. I think we could have played a little bit better, but we were looking to come away for a point, you could say. Cracking goals by Callum Wilson, who should be starting on Saturday. It'll be an interesting one to see how he sets up. I'm expecting, because obviously Graham Jones went to a 5-back against Palace, I'm expecting him to do the same. I think he's probably went to a 5-back after looking at the Chelsea game, going, right, I want to stick to the same system for both games, rather than going to a 4-back against Palace and then a 5-back against Chelsea. You want to stick to the same format. So I think that's why he might have done that, considering he's only at the club as full manager or caretaker manager for 2 games, sorry. I was thinking about days. He's got all the players in for training every single day. Fucking class. When Rafa was at Newcastle United, he had them in Monday, Friday, right? Monday, Friday. I remember when we got beaten Nottingham Forest in the Cup at the start of the 18-19 season, right? I went to the training ground the next day, and the players turned up 7 o'clock, half 7 in the morning, after just getting beat on the Tuesday or Wednesday night. Fucking the game must have ended about 10, half 10. Still had them training the next day. That was Brucey. Oh, you've had a game day off. Fuck that shit, right? They're getting paid a hell of a lot of money to do this, right? To play football. The least you can ask them to do is do their job and to train. Under Steve Bruce, there was 11 days and we only trained for 4 of them. Graham Jones has done more in nearly 4 days. Well, when this video goes out, it'll be 4 days. And he done that under Bruce, that was in 11 days. It's the little things like that, and we are preparing for Chelsea in the best way possible. You can't ask for much more from Graham Jones, from Newcastle United going into this game. If we go into this game against Chelsea and we get battered, you can say fair enough, right? You can't really blame anything apart from the performance on the pitch. You can't be blaming training, you can't be blaming tactics, because they've had all week. And that'll be the most disappointing thing if we go into that Chelsea game and look absolutely awful. If we get play off the park, that's fair enough. I would accept that Chelsea are a fantastic team. But if you've had all week to prepare and then you go into the game looking sluggish and slow and not knowing players and on the opposition team, that's when it'll get a bit frustrating for the fans. But it'll be a nice 3 o'clock kick-off on Saturday, and I'm hoping we can get a result of some sort. It'll be nice if we could end the Graham Jones era. Obviously he'll still be at the club, just not as the caretaker manager. It'll be lovely for him to end off with a win, and it'll be a massive win, the first win again of the season against obviously top of the league Chelsea. If I am going to say a prediction, boys, I am going to be realistic. I am going to say 2-0 Chelsea. It will be a tough game obviously on Saturday afternoon, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Anyways, boys, that's the end of the preview. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There will be obviously the predicted team out on the Friday, and then obviously the game on Saturday. I'll try and do a player ratings on the Sunday. I'll have to wait and see what happens, but there will be the vlog. Obviously there will be the vlog, so make sure to stay tuned on the channel. See you all in the next one, boys. See you all for the predicted team tomorrow, and have a good one, boys. Up the fucking mags.